We're just 6 months away from the bicentennial of when Trinidad Huerta came to the United States to do concerts for 2 years. He's dazzled his audiences in the New World in the principal cities of New England, beginning on the 15th of May, 1824, when James Monroe was the 5th President of the United States. Population at that time was 9.5 million people when Huerta arrived. Boston had a population of 43,000 plus. His sheet music was published there while he was doing concerts for people in the United States. Philadelphia had a population of 63,000. Baltimore about 1,000 less, it's 62,000 plus. New York City was the biggest conglomeration of immigrants to the New World. 123,000 plus people living in New York City. He also played in Saratoga, New York, where a little over 2,200 people lived. And these cities are taken from, and a timeline are taken from a book by my colleague and friend Robert Caldwell and his colleague Javier Suarez Pajares. The book came out in 2006. It's called A.T. Huerta, Life and Works, published by Digital Guitar Archive. It's over 200 pages, and my timeline was drawn from 50 pages of that. He notates 111 concerts in the book, but I found 56 concerts in November and December due to my research at the Biblioteca Nacional de España in Madrid. My colleague Brian Jeffrey told me upon my request that Fernando Sor had done at least 99 concerts that were documentable, but there were more concerts than that. Andres Segovia gave 5,204 concerts in his career. That information is included in my book, Annotations for the History of the Classical Guitar in Argentina, 1822 to 2000. I got that information from the Andres Segovia Vida y Obra by Alberto Lopez Poveda. Huerta performed along with Fernando Sor and Dionisio Guado in the early 1830s, where they accompanied 6 female singers, and they had 5 other guitarists on stage. A couple years later, Trinidad Huerta began playing duets on stage with Frederick Chopin on Franz Liszt. Trinidad Huerta played for the Queens of Spain and Portugal, the Kings of Belgium and France. Andres Segovia, Emilio Pujol, 100 plus years ago, played for the royalty in the early 20th century. Trinidad Huerta performed on the guitars made by Luis Panormo in London, Gregorio Carracedo in Madrid, Agustin Altimira in Barcelona, and the son of Gregorio, Antonio Carracedo, in the 1860s, made in Madrid. I mentioned in my article called The Concerts of Trinidad Huerta on my website in the historical articles section of my website, findfreda.com, that the performer was on stage at 8 o'clock in the evening, but probably in the guitar workshop at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Trinidad Huerta was born on the 8th of June in 1800 in the city of Orihuela, Spain. In 1819, he went to the College of San Pablo in Salamanca. It is said that he went to Lisbon, Portugal, and then Gibraltar, and then Paris in 1823, but we have no documentation as to the timeline for that particular year. He had publication of 6 grand waltzes on the 20th of May 1823, it's mentioned in the Diario de Madrid, the Madrid daily newspaper. On the 15th of May, 1824, he played a concert, his debut concert in the New World, at the City Hotel in New York. A little over a week later, he got married to a pianist, Sabina Mayuki. On the 5th of June, he played at the Washington Hall with Mrs. Huerta at the piano. He played his first concert in Philadelphia at the Masonic Hall on the 16th of June, 1824. Second concert, he played a Soar Sonata in Philadelphia on the 22nd of June, 1824. On the 1st of July, he played a concert in Baltimore with a pianist also on the stage at the same time. On the 3rd of August, 1824, he played a concert in Saratoga, New York. He played a Grand Potpourri, Fandango, and Bolero. We see that he had flamenco styles mixed in with his classical works, such as the Semiramis piece. He played Washington Hall on the 9th of September, 1824. On the 13th of September, he played at the Washington Hall again. That was mentioned in the New York Evening Post. On the 20th of November, 1824, he arrived in Baltimore. He did a concert. He was said that there were no rivals to his virtuosity, only Fernando Soar in Europe. And that was around the time he played at Mr. Boulet's Assembly Room. On the 13th of December, 1824, he played at Mallet's Ballroom. On the 2nd of March, 1825, the publication of his Grand Marcia was published in Philadelphia. Giuseppe Pasta wrote to his own wife, Manuel Garcia, the singer, the opera singer, very well known at the time, received a letter from Huerta. He said that he had made a fortune in a few years. In the 19th of September, 1825, the Boston Music Store received the Hymn of Riego, supposedly written by Huerta, but this is unsubstantiated. On the 12th of October, he played at the concert hall in Washington, at the Washington Hall. On the 2nd of January 1826, he gave his farewell concert program. Everyone paid $2 a ticket in 1826. That was 3 to 4 times the amount of money that Roland Diane's tickets for the South Bay Guitar Society years ago, and the GFA winners' concert ticket prices cost concert goers at the local guitar societies. It's equal to $65 in today's money. In 1826, it said that he made a trip to Havana, but documentation is yet to have been found. In 1827, in the 18th of May, he played at the Almack Rooms in London, the Argyle Rooms the following month, where he played with Theo Labert, Charles de Berriot. He played a sonata at the Duke of Albion's mansion on the 29th of June, 1827, at the Concert Town Hall in Cambridge, England, in 13th of May, 1828. He played at the Argyle Room again with Pio Ciancatini on the 6th of June, 1828. On the 27th of September of 1828, he was married for the second time. He married Angiolina Panormo, the daughter of the known guitar maker Louis Panormo. In 1829, Louis gives him a guitar as a wedding present. He used that at the April 9th, 1829 concert. He may have been in Paris in April to March of 1830. In March 20th of 1830, he played a concert at the Clifton Hotel, again in England. On the 22nd of May, 1830, he did a benefit concert. It didn't go well. The orchestra had promised to be there but didn't show. He wrote to the Times of London and threatened to leave England due to the hubbub that came about the announced orchestra performance that didn't happen. On the 20th of October in 1830, he did a concert at the Petzold Salons. In 1831, in January 16th, he did a concert, participation for a Spanish family of refugees. And the same day, the Austrian guitarist Mr. Schmidt and Giulio Rogondi played in Paris. On the 3rd of, in March 1831, he had a grand waltz that was disingenuously reviewed. It was not his performance, but the guitar was put down. At that time, we had the pianoforte starting to become more well thought of. I recently came up with the quip and said when the guitar waned in Europe due to the pianoforte, that's when it began to blossom in Argentina and other parts of South America. He wrote to George Cumberland on the 10th of March, 1831, said, "I have no students, no concerts, no money." He said, "My greatest enemies are Fernando Sor and Ferdinand Carulli." On the 16th of May in 1831, he played at the Sala Chantereine. That concert was sponsored by Rossini. He received 100 francs from King Louis Philip I. On the 27th of October 1831, he played at the Athénée Musical Paris, along with Fernando Sor. He used a René Lecoq guitar. Etienne Leprevotte guitar was used by Dionisio Aguado. He did a concert at the Hotel Fesch in Paris on the 17th of December, 1831. The next month, on the 7th of January, 1832, he played a concert at the Dietz Salons in Paris. It was reviewed by the Revue Musicale. They said, "You have to hear him." A year later, he was called the Paganini of the guitar. Paganini should have been called the Huerta of the violin. He had the youth. He was 22 years younger than Fernando Sor, 16 years younger than Dionisio Aguado, so when he played concerts with those guys on the same stage and other guitarists backing up 6 female singers, he really had a lot of pizzazz to his playing. In the 15th of June in 1832, he did another concert at the Dietz Salons. It's very highly praised in the Revue Musicale in Paris. On the 14th of December, he did a concert at the Sala Taibao. Years later, in 1880, Paco de Lucena would perform at that theater for 6 weeks be it 48 years later. He had two announcements for the December 14th concert. On the 16th of December, 1832, Trinidad Huerta, Fernando Sor, and Dionisio Guado played a historical concert given by Fetis, the author and critic of the music at the time. They performed the Spanish Villancico by Soto de la Puebla for 6 female voices and a total of 8 guitars on stage. On the 19th of March, 1833, did a concert at the Dietz Salons with Franz Liszt on cello, and also a cellist, Frank Chomi, was at the concert. Then Hector Berlioz did a benefit concert for the ailing Harriet Simpson, who he later married. She was a pianist. And this was on the 2nd of April, 1833. Huerta, Chopin, Liszt did duets. Berlioz did not mention Huerta in his memoirs. He was very upset with Paganini as well, because Paganini did not want to participate in this benefit concert where Trinidad Huerta, Frédéric Chopin, and Franz Liszt all were on stage at the same time. As I mentioned earlier, in this year, Huerta began to be called the Paganini of the guitar in the press repeatedly. We also see that Fernando Sor was called this, but posthumously after having passed away in 1839. The young Julian Arcas, born in 1832, by 1855, at the age of 23, he was also called the Paganini of the guitar in the press. In April, on the 23rd, Huerta organized a concert at the Dietz Salons, got a very good review. He was involved in another Hector Berlioz concert in May, on the 2nd of May in 1833. He played in San Sebastian in Spain for the Infante Francisco de Paula, and that was on the 21st of June, 1833. Played in Burgundy in the Salons Fink on the 8th of September, 1833. His daughter, Angelina, was born to his wife, Angiolina, in 1834. On the 26th of January, Fetis mentions Huerta in the Revue Musicale in Paris. There's also a large, this was in a large article dedicated to Zanni de Ferranti. On the 16th of March in 1834, there was a letter written from Victor Hugo, the author, to Huerta. And we see in April 15th, 1834, in Barcelona at the Teatro de la Cruz, or Principal, Pedro Antonio Chimeno was making guitars with a tornabos at this time. He was the inventor. There's an article, autobiography, in the Bulletin de la Revista Española, number 247. That's on the 21st of June, 1834. He did Trinidad Huerta perform concerts in Valencia and Madrid in 1834, 1835. At this time, Juan Munoa was making guitars in Madrid. Manuel Narciso Gonzalez had already made a guitar for the Queen of Spain at that time. Gregorio Carrasito was making guitars in Madrid. I should say that Gregorio Carrasito made 2 concert guitars in 1847 that Trinidad Huerta used at concerts in Madrid. These were both rosewood back and sides instruments. In 1850, Agustin Altimira made a guitar. There's a photo of him holding that particular guitar. But one of my colleagues, Dr. James Westbrook in England, he said he thought it's very possible that that guitar was made by Manuel Gutierrez. The headstock was very similar. But my choice of Agustin Altimira making that guitar as you look at the age of Huerta with his long beard at the time. Also pyramids on the wings of the bridge, very similar to guitars I have sold here, made by Agustin Altamira, that were restored by Manuel Lopez Nieto. At the end of Trinidad Huerta's life, which was in 1874, he was a street musician playing for whatever change people would drop in the guitar case, and that was in the city of Paris, where he lived with his wife and 3 children. The Paganini of the guitar was exceptional, and we are just several months away now from the 200th anniversary, the Bicentennial, of this great virtuoso, bringing the classical guitar and its virtuosity to the New World, playing in New York City on the 15th of May, 1824. Thank you.